It is the biggest void that I've ever seen in real estate.
Yeah.
Literally in my career. Like, even at the height of it, they only sold 5 million REO properties after 2008. They only sold 5 million properties, right? I'm not saying that's not a lot of properties, but people talk about it like, it was 50% of all of residential real estate. That's
right.
not true. You and I know a lot of people that made a fortune on those 5 million houses.
Yep.
This is 17 million houses.
It's crazy. Think about that number. Staggering.
I mean, it's a gigantic number. If you became laser focused on how to work that specialization, you're not, people say no inventory. Inventory is not a factor.
Yeah. No, yeah, you got it. It's there. It's available. You just got to market to it. You got to find the right people and stack the right lists, right? It's more or less what it comes down to. And you teach people how to do that. And NoteSchool is your company. Am I correct there? NoteSchool is how you teach them. And I've been to the Note Expo, which you do every year. And let me tell you, that is phenomenal. It's awesome. The amount of information I get out of that, I love it. I learn so much each time I go. I have not been to your NoteSchool class yet. I do want to get to one of these classes. So eventually I will make one, because that's going to be a whole other different level that you guys get into.
Well, the Note Expo is a trade show. And so there's a lot of big picture direction. What we gave people today was big picture direction.
Mm-hmm.
It's not the right format for the drill down.
Right.
NoteSchool has become very good at the drill down. I've got a site I'm going to send them to if I can.
Yeah, absolutely. How do they get in touch with you here?
I'm going to give them 2 or 3 what I think are important ingredients, right? I'm going to give them some reading material. I'm going to give them a little workshop. We're going to start giving people examples, because when people start seeing case studies, like, here's a deal, how somebody structured it. They did this, they did this, they did this. And then they're like, oh, okay, I can see that. In other words, it's way different than just conceptual.
Right.
Right now, hopefully we've excited somebody a little bit and says, oh yeah, I could see, I'm looking for the business that takes me out of where everybody else is chasing.
Yeah.
Right. And that's true. You can certainly, that's what we're going to help them with. And then it becomes like different than big picture, but like, okay, what are the mechanics? What's the checklist? What's the flow of this? What is it that I'm going to be asked down the road that if I don't know the answer to this, I'm going to get surprised? Yeah,
that's the key right there. To have just understanding it and understanding the big picture of it here, and how to answer and solve any issue that you're going to run into with these sellers. It's potential sellers, because you've seen it, you've been doing it for so many years, every question that comes along. That is for sure. All right, Eddie, we just had a little technical glitch here. We got everything all straightened out. Everything's good. And I think what you were just explaining to people is some of the objections they might come, when they're trying to buy these properties from these landlords. And that's a lot of what you're going to teach at NoteSchool. And you're going to show them how to do these in these conferences.
Everything in life is we don't have a vision of how something works until we see how it works.
Yeah.
Best way to learn is case studies. Right. Mm-hmm. That way you got real stories and real situations. It's easier to remember details from a case study than it is just if you get on the whiteboard and just give people, formulas or details otherwise. Yes. So everything that we've done is sort of built around how we've learned that people can best, retain something, the sticky factor, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And the way we explain it, you can make anything complicated if you don't say it the right way.
True.
Like there's sort of a little bit of some, like somebody's out there thinking, well, I'd really like to do this, but this is really complex. Well, anything's complex if you're not taught the principles, if you're not taught what to say, and then most things can be simplified. Now, I'm not, I'm not running some surgical center. We're not doing heart surgery here. We're just talking about structuring deals. Yeah. But we have done it a long time, and we're fairly good at like showing people, like, think of it like this, or lay it out like this, or let's build a template that you can get used to seeing the same pattern. And all of a sudden they're like, oh yeah, well, I mean, they can't believe in call it 2 or 3 hours, how much that now all of a sudden this stuff makes sense to them.
Yeah. I mean, if you put it into that sense, and that's basically what you have to do. Like we teach our students, it's pretty simple. Deals fall in this way. You gotta look for this ARV minus these repairs and minus your wholesale fee if you're going to do wholesaling. And there's where you come to it. Basically, you're teaching the exact same type of thing.
That's it.
They want it because people want to know how to structure a deal. How do I structure it so it makes sense so I can cash flow? Yeah. So that's basically what you're doing. You're teaching them how to do that and showing them, giving them case studies and examples.
Case studies just work so good. People just learn so well from case studies.
They do. Absolutely. For me, I like learning from case studies. There's nothing better than learning from case study. When I do deals, when we walk through with our students, how we do what we do, I go through sample deals I did. I'll go through 10, 20 different deals, exactly how we structured and how we did it. And it's pretty simple then when you do that. And then whatever questions they have, they raise their hand, you explain, and hopefully they retain, and then they get video and they can rewatch it later on if they didn't pick up the first time. So, and that is the key. It's all about the education, and it's all about how you set this up and do it, structure it, and make it so it makes sense to you and them as well.